The custom Dualie Squelcher is a weapon I personally don't really see too often in X-Rank or just regular battles either in Splatoon 3. It does have a pretty supportive kit with your squid beacons and super chump, and it plays into the supportive side of the weapon, unlike the first kit you get with splat bombs and wave breaker. Your squid beacons are pretty nice. They're kind of like a checkpoint system where you get your teammates back in after a fight where they've died or something like that. Pretty great where you've made a pretty strong push and you just want to get your teammates back to bed if you are all still in a fight and they don't really have a safe place to jump to your live teammates. Chumps aren't my favorite special in the game, but they do have their uses. They do provide some meat shields, and they do pretty decently if they aren't completely destroyed. They also do just take aggro off of you whenever people are trying to destroy them to keep pain off the zone or something like that. I'm not the greatest at using this kit, I'll be honest. I don't use squid beacons hardly at all, just because there's not really many weapons I'm used to using on them, and super chumps aren't that common of a special either, so I don't really know the best way to use them. Most of the time I will just pop them whenever I get them and just try to support a team push like that. Either way, the goal is 3 wins, and we'll go for a 4th one if we get 3 in a row. I'll see you in the first match. Alright, match number 1. Now we have some interesting team compositions on the enemy side. We can actually outspace 2 of their weapons. We need to be careful about the dapples due to the fact that they can try to rush us, and that's generally a dapple thing they like to do. It's probably going to try and do it here. Since we're not really going particularly for kills, just trying to get people to attack us. Unfortunate there, I could have gotten my aim a little better there and got the kill. Should have started the fight a little bit spaced out. Running respawn punisher too, very odd. Since we can space them out, that's going to be pretty nice. We do have to be careful with the flingza. They're heavies actually over here. There we go, you're dead. We're gonna move forward here. If you're trying to go for a kill, use your turret mode. Your main mode is not great. It is horrible at accuracy, so your kill time is going to be pretty bad most of the time. You might get some lucky shots on people running at you, but other than that, you want to make sure you're going for turret mode whenever you're trying to go for a kill. We've taken some damage, so I'm going to try and back up. I'm just trying to be wary of where they're at. Staying alive is one of our most important goals, and it's definitely one of our better tactics, since we are a weapon that really specializes in skirmishing. Gonna stay back here with our tri-slasher here, try and give them some paint. I'm out of ink here, so I'm gonna have some downtime. I'm gonna place a mine, or a beacon here, not a mine. Okay, we'll get the dapples since they didn't realize we were there. Stay out of the way of the strikes, and we'll go ahead and throw out our chumps. Got the flings out over here. I'm gonna try and double team with our teammate. And then we have this one guy over here. I might hit some fall off shots. I might not. I'm trying to, but we're just trying to keep him off. Got this guy over here again. Trying to make sure my teammate doesn't get rushed. Unfortunately, he does die to that, and he is being respawn punished right now. We have taken the lead, though. This is not the best map for Dualie Squelchers especially, since it is just kind of a corridor and just you're boxed in. Your dodge rolls aren't going to have the most effectiveness. Just backing away from the dapple, since I can do that, especially with my dodge rolls. I'm going to be targeted with missiles. I need to replace my beacon now. Didn't really need to do that. Gonna go for their specials. You're pretty decent at painting, so try to go for that too. Especially if your team is just having issues with their own paint. I see the apples over here. I can pretty easily rush them. Or not really rush them, but just kind of keep them at range. Like I said before. We're not being the most aggressive here. We're just trying to stall out. Make sure those missiles don't get in zone. We will be the only one alive here, so I'm just gonna try and play anchor. Make sure our teammates can get in. We've got the dapples over this way. Again, he's just making very predictable movements, and I can very easily stop him. Just gonna work on paint here. If I can get chumps, that's nice. This isn't the most aggressive special, and it's not really a decent one to play for, but your teammates can capitalize on it, and that's another thing you can use it for. Backing up. There we go. If he would dodge roll forward, he's not really doing that. Usually you expect dapples to do that. Gonna back away. This is their 10 attack. I'm gonna just sit here, get the jump. We're down to 13, so that's pretty good. Just gonna try and keep this down. Got their splatling up this way. I'm just making sure I'm not dying. If I can take some aggro, that's fine. Again, I can dodge roll away, my teammates can't. He really went for that. I'm really curious about this team's decisions to actually attack, because that was a weird one. Gonna try and get these missiles under the bridge. They were a little too fast, though. He dies. I'm going to try and help my teammate out with some fall off. Actually, I didn't hit a single one, but he did take the kill, so that's fine. Alright, I'm going to use some turret mode shots. If I get lucky with them, that's great. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not too close to their back line. We take their back line out. Just gonna work on stalling paint here. Unfortunately, due to the apples, I should have expected that since, you know, there was no one actually stopping them from rushing up to me. Should have planned that out. I had my special and everything and just been able to do that a lot better. Trying to make sure we just keep this zone stalled. That's the best thing we can do. I'm gonna put a beacon here. It's not the best thing in the world. Unfortunately, due to their heavy there, I was trying to back away, but didn't react to it fast enough. Down to 33 seconds. So long as we just keep paint on the map, we should be good here. They are heavily struggling with paint. I'm gonna back up. Try and protect my friend's jetpack jump. Maybe get their chin attack. They're just throwing up the zone. We can easily paint over these. We've got 16 seconds left. Make sure my Hydra isn't going to be rushed by the dapples or anything like that. They're going to go anywhere. They're going to go on this right side, so I'm going to shoot chumps off. The ceilings will not block your chumps, so use them like that if you so desire, and we'll take our first win. Alright, match number 2. Now, we do kind of have a good balance team here, so I can play support, and we'll probably have to be playing support since we will probably want a little more paint. It is a paint-heavy mode since you are wanting paint zone, so it'll be pretty nice to have a splatter shot along with us. Alright, we'll take a trade with the glue guys. Let's find that, get some of the offensive pressure off of our teammates. Again, we would rather not die there, but we take a trade. It's fine. It's not the complete end of the world. Go for paint over here. Do just have to be careful of the Hydra. You can't really paint over us that easily, though, and we actually get our teammate with the Zuka. Very good. I'm going to actually be aggressive here and try and set up. Just go for a special. Throw it where they're wanting to push back in from. Hydra's still over there. He's got his Zuka. He doesn't see me, though, so that's pretty good. Backline's a little far forward here, I think, but I think we can do fine with it. Ah, that's unfortunate. That's why you really don't want to try to kill with the middle mode. If I went for turret mode, I would have got the kill on it, but we missed that one shot, and that means that we're going to die to Hydra. Something you really want to get used to. Should have dodged a little bit faster there since they are the glue guys, but they did take me by surprise. Teammate got the kill though, pretty good. We're down to 5. No thanks to me. In fact, I'm just throwing paint on the zone, but making bad jumps there. But oh well, we get another win. All right, match number 3. We didn't do great last match, so we'll try to redeem ourselves this time. We have a good mid-range, hyper-aggressive-ish comp. Not really hyper-aggressive. You'd have Tetras or something like that. But we are going to be aggressive since we are shorter range, so I'm going to try and fit into that playstyle. Again, we're still wanting to stay alive here, or at least playing to staying alive. So taking as much resources as we can while still not dying is very important here. Try and make sure I'm getting the splatter shot. He's just going to run straight at me. They really like to do that if they think you're in your end lag from your dodge rolls, but Dualie Squelchers get the slides, which is just very nice to keep backing away while you're still attacking. Still got this guy. That is the stay-up. We're going to try and get the kill on him. Don't really have any help over here. There's the mid-range, or not the mid-range, but your kind of neutral attack being pretty bad. Gonna make sure they waste their vacuum over there. Good job. Okay, he took some damage. I've taken damage from this guy, though. I set up this beacon and actually try to use it as a shield. Oh, he's so close to death. He was very close to death. I think I just want to get back up to mid. I don't want to just be over there the whole match, taking the sideway from the, if I can't even speak, I can't even speak very well right now. But taking damage or aggro away from the stand. While that is nice sometimes, I don't think that was a great spot to be doing it because I very easily could have lost the altercation. That's the big swig. Honestly, want to keep painting here. Yeah, he threw that in the wrong spot. Okay. Don't like being completely caught in that, but thankfully we don't have to worry about any bombs. That being said, that is a very aggressive move they did there. We had to just completely disengage from it. Taking a lot of damage from their swings, so I need to just make sure I'm keeping paint and pressure on the zone. Actually got the kill from the wall just going up. There was a little bit of lag between there, and that let me actually get a few shots off. I think they're probably going off this way. Could have led my shots there and actually got a hit, but oh well, it's fine. We scared them off. Dapples are probably fixing to go for a slider once they get their special. We want to try and stop that, but I don't want to be too aggressive here. If our teammates aren't forward, I don't want to be forward either. There's that. He was actually aggressive with it, but it still worked out because they did get the zone off of it. Hold on. Not leading my shots very well here. I need to relax because I am just being a little too stiff with my aim. Big swig. He's going to vacuum. Probably tried to do some zone cheese with it, so I'm not going to feed it. And they actually got the kill on the vacuum. Very good job. Here comes a crab from their stamp. We'll just try and stall it out here. We can decently paint over it since it's not amazing. Like, it does have a pretty quick fire rate, but it isn't the best at painting. We take that. Just keep trying to throw this. Okay. Not throw this like I can do badly, but you know what I mean. Good job. Getting those vacuum kills, that's very nice of our teammate. Taking aggro. Just try and stay in mid there, strafe around while this guy's just aiming at us, and we get another win. Alright, we'll go for a 4th win since we got 3 in a row. We do have a Dualie Squelcher rival. Exact same kid, actually, so we're going to go ahead and try and actually use our beacons. I am garbage at actually setting beacons. I don't think I've actually used them maybe a single time in the last few matches, so that is a thing. We are also dealing with blob in this match, so we need to be careful. They can just kind of paint at us. And while we might be able to paint at them, we don't really want to be in line of those one-shots because they're a little scary. Thankfully, we did clean up there. I'm going to try and be aggressive. We'll take someone out there and get some chip damage on another person. Hopefully, our teammates can pretty much clean up there. Probably a better idea to not put all of your beacons in one spot. Try and help out in the spot. There we go. Good job. It's just a great weapon, though, for consistency once you are in your turret mode. You don't want to stay moving or stay sitting still for too long because you can just be killed pretty easily, and the dynamo is going to be a bit of an issue since dodge rolls don't really matter when you have pretty wide AoE. This is a lot better against shooters or something like that. Try and help him get the kill with the stamp. Maybe he can go around while I try to skirmish, keep the attention off of him. Want to try and help him at the very least get a kill or finish a kill that he's tried to go for. Didn't know who died there. If I knew it was the blob that was still alive, then I would have backed up because I had my special. Probably, I don't like playing backline in situations like these. We probably want to be the aggressive ones, but I'll just try and see what I can do here. Go ahead and launch your special out. Again, it's not the most aggressive one, but it can provide some help for your teammates. Need to recover and try and go for a kill here. Unfortunately, did not other Dualie Squelchers. Again, I'm using the middle mode a little too much. I say it's middle mode. I don't know why I'm saying that. It is very inconsistent if you're using it like that. Only use it whenever you have the aggro taken off of you and you just want to get some good shots before you actually start rolling. Unfortunately, did lose a teammate there. Alright, they lost their teammate though, so I can actually do this. This is going to be a bit of a slog because this is also not an amazing map for it. You do have to go off to the side if you want to push forward at all. In fact, I'm going to try and do this. And they're not really paying that much attention, so we can actually do something here. I'm just trying to keep this guy at range. I didn't push forward there because I didn't want to die taking too much damage. Okay, he jumps out. That's actually pretty good. He didn't know I was there, I guess, so I get a pretty easy kill off that. Here's the Dualie Squelchers again. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not being too aggressive and out of cover. I believe, yes, this guy's over here. We get the kill on him. I'm just going to work on paint. Try and be aggressive here. Unfortunately, Dynamo is protecting his friend, so I can't really be too aggressive. Just trying to stall zone the best I can. Get a free ink refill from my chumps there, and we actually just stalled enough for our teammates to get back in. That's why we weren't being aggressive. Unfortunately, yeah, I shouldn't have even done that. We are in the lead, so that's pretty good. That's how I was trying my best to just stall there and not trying to take a quick pick and trade, because that is just going to be pretty bad if we don't take the lead, because now we have to get through penalty. We're still pushing points, which is good. I've got to keep this guy at range. He's just going to run straight towards us. Pretty good. Get rid of these chumps pretty quickly. And there we go. There's our 4th win. Alright, so there's 4 wins with the custom Dualie Squelchers. This went pretty okay. We didn't do the best. We did decently. Again, we're not supposed to be getting the most kills we can, and the points where we were actually stalling and doing our job pretty well, like other than the last match, we did pretty good just stalling and waiting for our teammates to come back in. That was more of an anchor's role, but even then, I think it was fine for what we needed in the moment. I did not use my beacons as much as you really need to. They are a tool that you need to be using, or else it's just pretty much a weapon without a sub-weapon. I've just never really been one into beacon weapons unless it was something like the Ballpoint Nouveau in Splatoon 2. Again, you don't want to be using the just regular aiming mode as much as I was here because it is not consistent. Only use it if you're not the one being targeted, and even then use it just as an opener to get to your dodge roll. Something like this where you jump and then immediately dodge roll, or something like that, because you can't immediately jump after a dodge roll, which is very nice, and that is the Squelcher tech that a lot of people talk about. I'm not very good at this, and I would just donate too much brain power to doing that instead of just actually aiming correctly, that I don't really want to do it too often. It's a skill that you just pick up the more you use the weapon, but I haven't really used the weapon this much in this game. Again, since your turret mode is perfectly accurate for the most part, especially compared to your regular aiming mode, you want to use that whenever you're trying to get quick kills or something like that. Don't be too sedentary in your movement. You still do have the slides that you can go into, and even after a while, you will just go back to your regular aiming mode naturally while holding a direction. But it is just very good if you do want to get things like that. It's also just great in team fights wherever people are just standing still or you covered people in your paint. And that's another thing this weapon does pretty well. It paints very decently, especially at mid-ranges. Compared to the Splattershot Pro, you have about the same, I think, fire rate as a Splattershot, which you're not going to be getting as good paint, of course, since the droplets are smaller, but at the range it does do it, which is just kind of the standard middle range, it's pretty nice. This also means you're getting your special a lot more, and I used it. I don't really know when you want to use chumps. I just used them as soon as I got them. You want to push in with them a lot more, but I don't really feel too comfortable doing that. It happens whenever it happens, and I don't really plan around it. It is nice to have those little HP shields, and they do paint a little bit whenever they explode and land. So that's pretty nice too. Either way, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a comment below and maybe even consider subscribing. Until next time, bye.